Okay, once again, we're continuing our Amazon Bedrock Agent Core samples demos. And basically, what we're doing is we're going through some of these tutorials and we're just learning about Agent Core Bedrock. And what's better to do that is just to run the code. So let me show you what I have here. I have a virtual environment which I'm running and I'm running PyCharm, which is a Python development environment, and I'm looking at the Amazon Bedrock Agent Core samples, and I'm in the observability section. So we're going to go through all of these to see whether um, we can get as much as we can out of observability as possible. So what I'm going to do first is I have this. I'm going to go through this first tutorial, enable transaction search. My feeling is looking at this quickly, what it's doing is setting up CloudWatch and X-Ray and stuff so that we can monitor agent progress based on spans and transactions, etc. So what I expect to get out of this is to be able to run something and see the observability, like where is the application performing great, where is it performing poorly, how do I determine the functionality is working, and then on top of that, how do I make it faster, etc. So the first thing I do is I open up. I'm looking at this project here. I open up the notebook. I'm using Jupyter Notebook, running in PyCharm development environment. I notice there's a README file here, which we should take a look at, and there's a transactional search CloudFormation file here. So it doesn't seem to be that complicated a folder, and so let's go into the README. And so the README says this tutorial demonstrates how to enable Amazon CloudWatch transaction search for Agent Core observability. Great. Well, it turns out to be simple, so let's make sure we understand it. Transaction search provides an interactive analysis experience for complete visibility of your application transaction spans and traces across distributed systems. Okay, so I'm going to ignore distributed system for the moment, but what I want to know is when the customer asks the agent question, the agent will ask Agent Core to invoke a tool or whatever like that. It's going to go one step at a time, and these things are called spans about what's happening, and the traces show stuff happens in CloudWatch logs, and the stuff is extracted and viewed visually, so we get a chance to look at how our agent's performing. Okay, once again, Jupyter Notebook, CloudFormation, and there's images. Now notice there's an images directory. Typically they show up in a notebook, and I don't know, some of these folders show it, some of them don't. I don't get it, but there is a plugin for viewing that properly, and to be quite honest with you, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't get it, but I have the plugin. I have a plugin running, and then it says here, after completing the tutorial, delete the CloudFormation stack, removes the resource policy, disables the transaction search, existing traces and logs are retained. All right, so the logs are in CloudWatch logs, and most of the time it's not really valuable until you can see a visual representation of that. So they leave the logs in CloudWatch, but it's hard to get value from it. But you can, but it's not visual. So although you could use CloudWatch Insights and create a dashboard and get some insights. So I'm going to close this, and we're going to go back here. And then what I'm going to show you is the code snippets in here, right? So the first one says you're creating a stack using transactional search, which is here. You're describing the stack status, and you're getting the trace segment destination. So I'm going to run this. Let me first show you this file. This is the CloudFormation that's running. It does a transactional search X-ray access. It allows X-ray to put events into log groups. It's using spans and application signals, data, whatever. We'll take a look at that. And shows the region and account ID. And we have a log resource policy. It's interesting because it seems like Amazon is still using CloudFormation, which is really good because they refine things where pieces are small. So these things don't bother me. But if they were long and 5,000 lines, I would question what we're doing there. But anyway, what we're going to do is, let's say we'll restart the kernel. So notice the kernel is restarting here. Let's just do one step at a time. Okay, now I'm going to run this command. I'm creating a stack that enables transactional search. So I have it. Let's see what this thing looks like. I'm going back to here, and I am going to refresh this. Now, it says the rollback is in progress. Let me go in here. So let me see, the rollback is in progress. Let me look at the events. Looks like the create failed. But it failed at the X-ray transactional search config. Okay. Likely cause. So it created this thing first, and it completed. All right, let me go back to the stack. The rollback is in progress. Let me see the resources. Okay, it created a logs resource policy, but this thing seemed to fail. Okay, let me try to understand what this means. Okay, so we're going to go back in here and we're going to execute this command. Describe the stacks, transactional search. It says rollback in progress. And now, so it is. So this is our template it used. Okay, so now we deleted both of them. So the rollback is complete. So now let me go back in here and run this again. Rollback is complete. Get trace segment destination. What this tells me is the CloudWatch logs is active. It's getting logs, but the stack to generate the observability for Agentcore seems to have rolled back. I don't know what this really means, so let's do this. I'm going to go to the images here and notice transactional search. There's 4 images here. One show us a CloudWatch transactional search. It doesn't list anything. There's no spans or anything. Let's look at the second. It's looking for the spans, right? And it's not showing anything. Let's look here. It says settings, insights, settings. This is disabled. Now, and there's another image here which basically says doesn't look like there's any spans to show because we didn't run an agent, and this says that it's enabled. So now let's go look at let's kill these. Okay, and let's go back in here and let's go to CloudWatch. Here's setup. It's enabled. So, be quite honest with you, I'm starting to feel, some of this UI is getting non-intuitive. But now that I know it, right? So basically, it's enabled, and basically that's really all we wanted to see because I don't quite understand the errors. It looked like it created a stack. It looked like it did an operation, and then it rolled back, and then it has the X-ray destination, and it's active. So I'm a little bit confused about how to explain what happened here, but it seems like the transaction search was enabled with this. It gave X-ray and allowed X-ray to write into these log groups, which I think was the only thing we were trying to do in this demo, and how that relates. Why it rolled back, I don't really know at this point, but it looks like we have run this demo, and we did see this enabled, so in the X-ray traces, and then what else? Oh, we didn't see any spans yet because we're going to run we're going to run some examples right now and see if the observability works. So let's just end this video and move on to um, this next demo runs the strands agent, and we'll see the observability in that. As a matter of fact, I already did that demo already, and it worked, and we took a look at that observability. Anyway, that's all I want to show. Thank you for watching.